made it. Oh,
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I took political science back in the 90s, late 90s, and we studied a speech by Barbara Bush that she gave at a graduation ceremony at Wellesley College. And there were 3 points she made at that ceremony. She said, we need to believe in something larger than ourselves. That's been a part of me in my life. And as I've pursued my professional career, I have a belief in something bigger than myself, something greater. And that is what I've shot for and what I've aimed for. And Ideal Institute is a belief in something greater than yourself. Because what we do here provides opportunities for not just students, but for housing, for all kinds of opportunities in the community to bless our community. Secondly, she said, we really must enjoy life. There's been other enjoyable days along the way, but a lot of hard work as well. Two, he says. All right. And thirdly, she said we must cherish our human connections. And I think you each got to make connections even outside of your class. And so remember to cherish those connections, to work on those connections, because these people you've made connections with can bless you the rest of your life. Our program will proceed as follows. We'll first hear from Jasper Jacobson and then from Ron Limbaugh. They are salutatorian and valedictorian.
Thanks everybody for being here. We all went through a lot for sure in the last 6 months. It's really good to see everybody out here on the other side. It's funny for me personally that we're here at Owl River because before I came to Ideal, I was doing Amazon deliveries, and one time I delivered a package to the wrong address to that building right over there, knowing that it was the wrong address, but I swear I only did that one time. Then I always would drive by this place wondering, what is that place exactly? And then a couple months later, I signed up for Ideal. I remember going to orientation and listening to Clay's promise that this program would change all of our lives, make us lots of money. He told us our families would be calling him up to thank him because we were about to become such great human beings. And something about how we looked unique and ordinary all at the same time. I remember looking at the bright and eager faces of the teachers and thinking to myself, am I about to join a cult? I wasn't really sure, but I was down either way. We all came here to learn more about construction and also for our own unique reasons. Before I lived in Arizona, I was in Oakland, California, mostly minding my business and walking my dogs. Suddenly, I found myself in Arizona with my future wife, and for the next 4 years, I dedicated my life to raising 5 of my nieces and nephews. I had a lot of growth and found immense fulfillment by stepping up for our family during that time. I knew I'd done a good job, but when that chapter came to an end, I found myself in Tucson, directionless and looking for new meaning in life. So I figured maybe it was time to pick up a trade. Suddenly, Ideal appeared and I went for it. I entered the program with the goal of gaining new skills that would lead me to the next step of my career path. Not only did I get that out of Ideal, but unexpectedly, I learned some incredibly valuable things about myself. What made me successful here was the decision to learn at every opportunity and a dedication to finding meaning. I experienced different types of mentorships, partnerships, and role models. I got to learn from people who are passionate about what they do and the art of building. I know we all had our moments being stuck in a bill with our partner, just straight up annoyed. Where I had the most growth myself, and I saw this in other people too, was in the decision of how to deal with that frustration and use it as an opportunity to learn about myself. Because it's never really the other person or the fact that the flex drill almost broke your wrist one too many times or the Craftsman nail gun won't stop jamming. It's all about you and how you decide to respond. What are my faults? This experience gave me the opportunity to look at my faults and decide how to turn them into my strengths. I learned you get out what you put in, always. Austin told our class regularly that there's something you can learn from everyone. So I set out to do just that, and I think that's what made me successful at Ideal. You don't learn just by existing. You got to have your eyes open and be looking for the lessons. There's this quote that has a lot of iterations, but my favorite is, the only thing two machinists can agree on is that the third is doing it wrong. And that's a good thing because it means everybody has different ways of doing things, and there's always more tips and tricks you can learn by having a mindset of learning. I tried my best at Ideal to take in as much information as possible, always keep my eyes open, and always be open to critique, and take lots of notes. I would say that this was an experience of constantly being asked to look at myself and see where I could improve. Doing this for 6 months straight really helped drive the mentality of taking every opportunity to grow. Operating in this mindset of exercising your mind like a muscle changed the way that I think about myself, the goals I set for myself, and it's going to carry on for me into the future. Having skills can give life meaning, purpose, and a sense of accomplishment. Watching those completed houses fly out of the crane for the first time was an incredible feeling. Knowing you can build a house is a very special joy. My main success in this program was in the way that I showed up for myself, because showing up in the program is showing up for yourself, which translates to being a good partner, which is going to translate to other successes in the future, and all that money Clay promised us at orientation. There we go. One way I could have been more successful is if Nelson gave me more time to write this speech. I found out 2 days ago. Thank you to all the teachers and staff for your dedication. Special thanks to my teacher, Austin, for sharing your passion with us and for your trust in our ability to succeed. Thank you to my fiance, Shauna, for supporting me, and thank you to all the other families and friends who supported all of us through this very rigorous process. Lastly, congratulations to all the students for sticking it through. We did a great job. We should all be very proud of ourselves.
Thank you, Jasper.
Thank you very much, Nelson.
Jasper said something about I was funnier than him. I don't think so. I don't think so. He was pretty funny. All right. Thank you, Pete and Clay, for this opportunity to be here at Ideal. Wow, this is really something, isn't it? We get our white hats. It's better than the orange hats, so they say, but I kind of like the color orange. Don't you think that? What?
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Oh, okay, I got to talk like this. Okay, I will do this. How did I come to Ideal? I read about it in a newspaper. Can you believe that? And I said, wow, because I've gone to building houses, dome homes and all that, and it's pretty expensive. But this was $500. $500, you get $2,200 worth of tools, and you can qualify for the RX 62 license. I said, wow, I've got to do that. I got to do it for 6 months? Okay, I'm retired. I can do anything for 6 months. So I wanted to build a legal house, and this was the way to do it. And what have we learned at Ideal and enjoyed the most? So raise your hand if framing a house is your best thing to do. Raise your hand. How about drywalling? How many like drywalling? Yeah, okay. Mudding? Everybody likes the mud. You get all wet and everything, your clothes. How about texturing? I love texturing. It brings out the artist in me. I can just paint like crazy. Electrical? How you guys get really serious when you work with electrical, don't you? Because you know you're going to get hurt if you mess up. Kitchen cabinets. Oh. Kitchen cabinets. Am I going to hit the backing block or what? Plumbing, those crazy little things that you go, yeah, you'd like plumbing, wouldn't you? Yeah, I know what you want to be. Laying to the floors. How many people don't understand that if you cut 48 inches into thirds, what do they end up at? Installing water heaters. I tell you what, when my water heater goes out, guess what I'm going to put in there? Because I know how to do it. And I can sweat that copper like sweat off my forehead. How have we been successful with all this? From our instructors. Dylan, I'm going to name Dylan because he's a 7 o'clock class first. Okay. Austin, Isabel, Carlito, and those part-time guys, Isaiah and Josh. Our Dean Nelson, he comes out, keeps us straight. Dan and Corey keep us straight and on the line. And guess what? Tommy gets everything where it's supposed to be. Then there's the YouTube videos created by Edgar. Thank you, Edgar, so much for that. And what I call the educators with Carol, JC, Isaiah, and Jasper. And then again, let's not forget Rick. I learned so much from Rick, and I miss him terribly. I just wish he was here to, I could thank him for teaching me how to hang a door correctly. What are our takeaways from this experience at Ideal? Communication skills. Active listening, asking the right questions, interpersonal skills, discipline to evaluate a problem, humility to see things from others' perspective. These last two skills, communication and interpersonal skills, you have learned and practiced here at Ideal will make you successful for the rest of your lives, no matter what you do. And my final message is, life is a constant intelligence test. Isn't it? Mr. Nelson Brown.
ACT Future Leaders Apprenticeship Program in partner with Home Builder Institute and Pima Community College. These programs have assisted her in receiving the 2022 Pima County Small Business of the Year Award and the Metallica Scholarship Award. I think that's awesome. Growing up on an off-grid farm automatically put her into the construction industry. We will now hear from Leah Swisher. Thank you for making time to come, Leah.
I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And thank you for the introduction. First off, congratulations. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Great. For finishing this program, give yourself some credit. You've worked your rear off for the last 6 months in this crash course, and I've heard a lot of great things that have come from the program. I'm going to not get sappy. So I actually wrote the notes so I wouldn't take too much time. So forgive me for looking like I'm reading a script. But so some of you is probably easy these last 6 months. Some of you is probably extremely difficult. And some of you, it might be the first commitment that you've ever completed. I'm sure you're asking yourself, what now? Luckily, this isn't high school. You're not being asked, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? Because it's not high school and you're already past the pipe dream stage. Now you're in the realization stage, the realism, and how do you apply the skills that you've just learned? You'll be surprised on how easily they come into play in everyday matters. For example, as a kid growing up on the farm, I was thrown into construction at a young age. I'm sure some of you are thinking, how does a farm come into play with construction? So let me just tell you. I had my first intro into plumbing at the age of 6. Our sewer tank was full and the lines were backed up. We had to empty the tank, and it was not the most pleasant smell, let me tell you. And after trying all the convenient ways to unclog the pipelines. My dad, my brother, and I climbed under in the crawl space under our home to cut the PVC pipe. In that moment, with all the nasty glory spraying all over in my face and my dad in the background yelling, "Grab the buckets," I realized plumbing definitely was not for me. Oh yes, electrical. We did our own electrical on the farm as well. And having an older brother, let's just say the two did not mix. He hands 7-year-old me a screwdriver and tells me that our outlet needed grounding while dad continued to work on the connections. Me doing my job to put the screwdriver into the outlet to ground it. Luckily, my dad was much wiser and before bringing it to life, checked on us. The whooping I experienced and the firm yelling that could have killed both of us, to this day, I swear electrical will kill you. As far as framing, we built our own animal pens. My dad tasked me with building a small baby chick coop. I'm thinking it was just to get him out of his hair. Oh, I took this job so incredibly serious. My first dabble in blueprints. I drew out my idea several times. You know, little kids, tongue sticking out, really proud. I even used a ruler thinking that I was so professional and I was going to show them just how awesome I truly was. Very proud, and finally decided upon an A-frame because the rain wouldn't collapse the roof and possibly hurt the baby chicks. As a young child in your mind, an A-frame is just 2 pieces of wood stuck together. Hours went by and my dad came to check on my success. Not only had I spent hours with just 2 pieces of wood, but I also had used a whole roll of duct tape and a whole box of carpentry nails. Mind you, he turns the corner to a big blob of gray and half-beaten bent nails sticking out everywhere, and a little girl screaming and stomping, "Why aren't you standing up?" Tears rolling down my face, my dad picks me up in his arms and says, "Let me see your hands." As I swallow my pride and hold out my first hand, he notices that my thumbnail had been blackened and bursted, and that is why I switched to duct tape. In the end, he said, "Don't worry, we'll teach you tomorrow." As I got older, I realized throughout all my years in childhood and young adulthood, I received one compliment all the time, and that was, "Leah, you sure know how to run a shovel and a rake." So my first job at 14 was mucking stalls on a thoroughbred ranch. I worked that job until I graduated, and over the course of 12 years after graduation, I jumped from construction field, learning all I could in each field, and then deciding, no, that field really wasn't for me. In the end, I decided I could help do them all, and that is when I found my position today. So for all of you that had this opportunity to go through a 6-month crash course, I'm somewhat jealous. You didn't have to go through all the hard knocks that I did. But if only this program would have existed in my days, I probably wouldn't have as many scars as I have today. You all are finishing this program at the perfect time. The world we live in just proved that the areas of construction you just learned and experienced are the essential jobs to keep our world thriving. Right now, every construction area is hiring. Right now, there are so many programs to continue your growth in whatever field you felt most comfortable in. And right now, you just need to ask yourself, what area during the course of these months did you have the most passion and excitement for? And move forward with that. I wish you nothing but success. Thank you all for having me here today.
Now it comes to the awarding of diplomas. We'll turn some time over to Pete Toon, our president of Ideal Institute, to share a few messages and then read your names.
They trust me with one job today. But before we get to that, I just want to take 2 minutes and share a couple thoughts with you. And I'm sorry that we didn't tell you, but there is a final exam today. There's one question that you each have to answer in unison. The question is, what do you hear when you put your ear to a hard hat? The OSHA. I'm a dad. I can tell those jokes. Sorry. So this has been great. Enjoyed hearing from all of our speakers so far. I hope I can add a little bit to it. It's been fun to watch each of you these last 6 months. I really enjoy going and walking around and watching and seeing what you're doing, and everybody's always so happy, cheerful, and enjoying themselves, at least when I'm there. But I think it's important that each of you recognize that through this 6 months, each of you has become a better version of yourself. And we see it, and we hope you see it too. Henry Eyring is an educator and a religious leader, and he once said, if you are on the right path, it will always be uphill. What does that mean? Well, I think it means several things, but today, I think it means you can only find satisfaction when you challenge yourself and you accomplish your goals. A life of leisure would not offer the things you've learned and experienced these last 6 months. No sense of accomplishment, no confidence in your abilities, no lessons learned, and certainly no skills. So what have these last 6 months meant to each of you? In the next 5, 10, 20 plus years, how will you look back on these 6 months? Will it be a turning point, a new direction, a launching pad to greatness? And where will you go from here? What will you do? Is this the end of your education, your learning? You're learning that there are no mistakes, only learning opportunities? We hope this is just the beginning. We hope you have taken the honor code to heart. We want you to remember that now that you are alumni, doesn't that sound great? You're alumni of Ideal Institute. Remember, you always represent Ideal Institute wherever you are. Remember, you always represent your employer or your business. Remember, you always represent your family. Remember that as a graduate of Ideal, you have character. Don't ever do anything to lose that. Whatever you are and choose to be a good one. And finally, remember, if you are on the right path, it will always be uphill, and it will be worth it. We will now present some diplomas. Congratulations. Thank you. Michelle Armenta. Come on in. Brian Bazine. Brown. Brandon Baltieres. Keaton Barnes. Jesus Allen Bernal. Congratulations. Brandon Brown. Carol Cardenas. Congratulations. Adrian Cazares. Congratulations. Alex Chavez. You're not Alex Chavez. Congratulations. I had one job. Vanessa Chase. Congratulations. Jaime Contreras. Congratulations. Carolina Cordova. Congratulations. Jacqueline Cordova. Congratulations. Lorenzo de la Cruz. Congratulations. Hector Delgado. Congratulations. Thomas Finch. Congratulations. Rosaline Galvez. Congratulations. Luciana Girga. Congratulations. Heather Gossett. Congratulations. Jasper Jacobson. Congratulations. Taylor Johnson. Congratulations. Stacy Ledesma Padilla. Congratulations. Esteban Lesbron. Is that right? Congratulations. Ronald Limbaugh. Colton Lundgren. Lawrence Mendez. Congratulations. Garrett Moritz. Liliana Palma. Juan Carlos Palomares. Lisel Peraza. Christian Power Lakes. Isaiah Puckett. Joseph Puckett. Javier Quijada. Cassandra Rodriguez. Andre Romero. Allison Sane.
Thank you.
Bedford Taylor.
Thank you.
Carrie Wheeler.
Thank you.
Derek Woodwalker.
Parts of this graduation ceremony is getting the yellow hard hats signed. Those will go and hang up in our institute and will be there for the rest of our existence. And so first class's hard hats are already up there. Now we get to add 45 more to the 13 that are there. It's very awesome. Congratulations, graduates. We'll conclude today with a message from our founder, Clay Abernathy. And after that, you'll be able to take pictures and congratulate the graduates. Clay.
Thank you for coming and thank you for supporting the new graduates. This is not as easy as growing this sweet mustache. A lot of you guys didn't know who I was today. I was an undercover boss today. You guys set out on a journey that seemed possible and exciting, and maybe isn't as exciting as you thought it was now, but you made it through it. This was designed to be difficult. And this morning when I woke up, I got an email. I didn't plan on putting this in my talk, but I'm going to read this to you. And for most of you students here, I told you this once before, but this put it in a really good manner. Once we have refreshed our vision for the road ahead, we must also rekindle or refresh our fire. To refresh your fire is to strengthen what remains to ensure that your foundation remains sturdy and you'll be able to sustain you for the long haul. Through the process of tempering steel and other metals are put into intense heat where they are purified and strengthened. As the heat is applied, the impurities come to the surface and are removed, leaving a pure metal. Interestingly, the hardness of the metal is reduced through the fire. However, its flexibility under pressure or ductility, ooh man, that was tough for me to get out, is increased. This causes the overall strength and versatility to rise. It will bend in the face of adversity, but it will not break. There are times in our lives when we go through fires and pressures that are anything but comfortable. Whether it is a physical ailment, financial hardship, relationship challenges, or spiritual dryness, these times test the very core of our personhood. The fire brings the impurities to the surface, but each of us must choose to remove them from our life. The fire breaks down our own hardness, but there is strength in learning to be flexible. Although these fires are not desirable, when we submit our life to the will of the Holy Spirit, they begin to expose the impurities in our life, reduce our hardness, and give us strength and flexibility for the purpose that God has in our life. We too will bend in the face of adversity, but we will not break. Maybe your fire has been stoked or smothered. Maybe your coals are still red hot, or maybe they are starting to cool down. Wherever you are in your journey, it isn't too late to add kindling and revitalize the fire that's inside of you. Don't give up. Instead, strengthen what remains and watch your fire grow. There is a lot that comes in this life. You hold strong and keep working. These things that you did in the last 6 months might not seem like that incredible, but they will start to come out in the next year, 5 years, 10 years, and you can look back at the relationships and the thing that you learn and take that. Why is this my favorite thing? People ask me, Clay, why did you do this? What do you get out of this? I get those hats. I look forward to seeing you guys grow and seeing how you prosper in life. Those are my pride. Those are what I see in the future of you guys. Keep up the hard work. You just started the journey. That was a hard 6 months, but that's the beginning, not the end. Take the things that you've learned in construction, take the things that you've learned in your personal skills, and continue to add to it. You guys have done a great job. Thanks for being a part of Ideal. You guys will always be in our heart. Make sure you take lots of pictures. Thank you, guys.
Oh yeah, throw your hats.
I feel pretty good. Yeah, of course I'm the oldest one in the class, but hey, I've had a lot of fun. The interaction with all the people, that interaction there is a great thing, and I love it, and it'll be around a long time for me. Do it in a heartbeat. It's tough. It's really tough, not only physically but mentally, and you have to be able to do things in your head while you're looking at the tape and measuring and framing a house and all that, but it's worth it. It's well worth it. Work with your hands and mind.
A great job. Another successful class. We're over 90% graduation rate, and things are going good. It's exciting for them to see what they've been able to get accomplished. Very good. This is the start, not the finish. This is the beginning of the learning process. They made it through, and now the next journey begins. So keep up the good work and work really hard.
Best foot forward, initiative, ask lots of questions, write everything down. That's your best friend. Helps you retain everything, and just keep practicing with your hands.
We did it. Congratulations on sticking through it. It was a long, hard journey, but we all stuck together and got it done. And I'm so proud of us for that. I wouldn't have asked for a better class. I feel like we were all the perfect class for each other. We helped each other out a lot. And I know they definitely made it much more enjoyable for me to be here. Even though the experience was already worth it, getting to know them, getting to work with them and meet these wonderful people really made the experience a once-in-a-lifetime for me.
These were two of my students, and they did a freaking phenomenal job. Tom, tell us how this semester was and how you feeling now.
Oh my gosh, I am just so excited. The best thing that ever happened to me at Ideal Trade Institute was, of course, my instructor. And the second best thing that ever happened to me was when Esteban and I got to work together. So that was the best thing ever. No, in all honesty, just everything. When I came here, I had so much trepidation. I had no idea what I was doing. I couldn't even hang a picture. And then just with the guidance of the school and of the instructors, just was able to get through all the trials and the tribulations, and just so proud of all of us that we were able to get through this. It's such a proud moment right now.
I'm so happy that this is done.
I
get to sleep more.
Sleeping in time.
But yes, I learned a lot. Actually got to know how to use tools, power tools. And I'm ready to work. I'm excited, and I'm just happy.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see everybody finish and complete everything. And I'm just laughing because your rig is covered in drywall dust right now. So hardworking piece of equipment there. Yeah, so I'm just excited to see what's next for everyone and what they're going to do with this. And so lots of unique and eccentric personalities and people with different ideas. And so to see them take these skills and the new connections we've made and go out into the world and do something with it.
This moment's really bittersweet. This was my first semester as an instructor, and I, progressed tremendously.
What did you learn as an instructor?
To be more confident. The very first couple weeks, these guys couldn't even hear a word I was saying. I was stuttering over every word, sweating profusely. It doesn't help when I get nervous and I just start leaking everywhere. But once I warmed up to these guys, I think the 1 p.m. class, it had a stronger bond than any of the other classes. We had our own trials and tribulations to deal with compared to the other classes. Like after lunch, everyone was gone and the warehouse was ours. We didn't have the inspectors or that support that we did, for the first half of the class. So a lot of us, or the class itself, we had to prosper and figure things out on our own, and that's kind of a double-edged sword. But we got through it. And like I said, I think this class is special. I think the bond that I have with these students, Ahmed, TJ, Cassandra, Joseph, all the rest of them, Stacy, Steven, Jesus, who am I missing? The rest of them. Adrian, there we go. We're family now.
That's right. I feel pretty good. The reason I feel good is because I feel like this is the first time in my young life that I really committed to something, because like high school, college, that's sort of obligatory, but I hear about Ideal Institute on the Tucson local news, and I think to myself, let's just go for it, I'll just gun for it. This is a whole new thing and I want to accomplish it, and I followed through. It's the first time I truly followed through, and I feel pretty damn good about it. I'm very happy about this. This is probably my biggest accomplishment so far.
I'm excited to be done. It's a little bittersweet, like Carlita was saying. You spend the entire day, every day with people, so I'm having a little separation anxiety from my teammates, but just being here together, I guess, really makes you realize how much of an accomplishment it was, and just all the different things that we did and all the different ways that we learned. So this is exciting, and I know it's only the beginning.
It is a great feeling. Yeah, it's a relief. Yes, the education, the knowledge, knowing how to build, anything is really. It's an amazing feeling to be able to know electrical work, to know framing, to know drywall. And when 6 months ago, I knew none of it. I've been able to help friends and family already, and it's just an incredible experience to be able to help.
My favorite part is Edgar being my shadow. That was pretty fun.
Is this an experience that's going to stay with you forever?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Absolutely.
Like we learned, this hands-on stuff stays in your long-term memory, so you'll always have recall points to come back to this. It's definitely worth the 6 months.
Like you said, we're alumni, we're family now, and I'm going to come back to visit and see what's going on with Ideal often.
I feel excited and proud of what's coming. Very blessed. Oh man, I don't know. Just keep going for my contractor license and just keep doing it and keep working. That's all you can do. You learn so much in such a short amount of time. You run into great people, and it's just a great place to be at.
Oh my goodness, where do you even begin? These guys coming in, what they went through, all the knowledge that they have now, all the emotions that they went through, all of the struggles that they went through, all the hurdles that they jumped over. I mean, it just amazing. What just a wonderful accomplishment for these guys. Just 6 months before, we were in the same place, so we know exactly how it feels. But now we're on the opposite end, where we're giving the knowledge that we learned to them, and watching them learn, watching them grow, seeing the smiles on their faces at the end of it. Because every day they're learning, they're growing, and it's hard, and they're climbing that hill. And now that they're at the top of that hill, it's great to see them up there and to be happy and see that sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. To the students out there, I love you guys. Keep working hard. Keep up that positive mental attitude that I can do anything that I set my mind to. See the glass half full. You know, in every situation, there's always something to learn from every single person that's out there in every single situation. Take the hand that's dealt to you, play it to the best of your ability, and keep playing. Those that are still trying, you know, they are the ones that you know they haven't failed yet, because they're still trying. Even if you're taking half a step in the right direction, that's a step in the right direction in accomplishing your dreams. So be patient with yourself, and love the people that are around you. Keep working hard, and I'm proud of every single one of them.
It's a step that you really don't know what it's going to turn out to be. You don't know what the journey is going to be like, and take a leap of faith, and you keep pressing forward, and then all of a sudden you've completed it, and you've done something, and you've built several homes, and you can look at them and say, I did that. And it's a huge boost of confidence. It tells people they know they can do something, and they're valuable, and they're important, and so we're just thrilled.